What if everything you thought you knew about a champion was suddenly thrown into question? Imane Khelif, a boxing gold medalist, national hero, and Olympic icon, is now at the center of one of the most explosive gender controversies in sports history. A leaked medical report, allegations of male chromosomes. And now, global boxing authorities are taking drastic action. This isn't just about one athlete. It's about gender, identity, and the future of women's sports. We're breaking down all the facts, the speculation, and the impact. So if you're into shocking twists and real talk about pop culture and sports, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives like this one. Now, let's get into it, because this story is far from over. Imane Khelif burst onto the international boxing scene with a story everyone could root for. A young woman from Algeria fighting her way to the top in a male-dominated sport, winning gold in the welterweight division at the 2024 Paris Olympics. She wasn't just an athlete, she became a symbol. A Muslim woman succeeding against all odds on the world stage. But behind the triumph, a shadow was already forming. Because before Paris, there was another competition. In 2023, during the Women's World Championships, Khelif was suddenly pulled from competition. At the time, the reason wasn't made public. No failed drug test, no injury, just gone. Later, reports emerged that a DNA test had flagged something unexpected. Khelif allegedly possessed male chromosomes, specifically the XY chromosome pattern typically associated with biological males. But because there was no formal ruling or policy at the time, the issue quietly faded from headlines. Until now, by late May 2025, everything changed. A classified medical document from 2023, originally buried in internal files from the Women's World Boxing Championships, was suddenly leaked to the media. This report, which had been quietly kept from the public for over a year, allegedly confirmed that Imane Khelif possesses XY chromosomes, the typical chromosomal pattern found in biological males. It's the same discovery that reportedly got her pulled last minute from the 2023 competition, though no explanation was ever given at the time. Now, that secret was out in the open, and it didn't take long for the internet, the media, and the global sports community to erupt. One side demanded answers. Critics immediately began calling for her 2024 Olympic gold medal to be revoked, arguing that her participation in the women's welterweight division violated the principles of fair play. They said this wasn't about discrimination, it was about biology and competitive advantage. But others pushed back just as hard. Supporters of Khelif highlighted that she's legally recognized as a woman, has lived as one her entire life, and was cleared by the International Olympic Committee to compete based on her passport and gender registration, not just her chromosomes. For many, this wasn't just a medical story, it was an invasion of privacy. People asked, how did a personal medical record even get leaked? Was this a deliberate attempt to humiliate her? And what kind of precedent does this set for other female athletes who don't conform to typical gender norms? What had started as a quiet, internal HR matter in 2023 had now turned into a full-blown international scandal. One that raised serious questions not just about Khelif, but about how sports federations handle sex, gender, and identity. And this firestorm wasn't dying down anytime soon. Within days, World Boxing, the new Olympic-sanctioned boxing authority, responded with new rules. All female boxers will now face mandatory genetic sex testing before competitions. And effective immediately, Imane Khelif has been banned from competing in the upcoming Eindhoven Boxing Cup and potentially all future women's events, unless she complies with the new genetic testing policy. It's a decision that's being praised by some and condemned by others. Because now, we're not just talking about one boxer, we're talking about the future of gender in sport. Imane Khelif isn't backing down, not by a long shot. As the headlines exploded and the leaked medical report went viral, Khelif stepped into the spotlight with a defiant response. In a carefully worded public statement, she categorically denied the claims being made about her biological sex. She said she was assigned female at birth, had lived her entire life as a woman, and was legally recognized as such, not only in Algeria, but by every major athletic federation she's competed under. She didn't mince words. She called the allegations false, defamatory, and rooted in discrimination. And Then she went one step further. She announced she was preparing to take legal action, not just to clear her name, but to hold accountable whoever leaked the confidential medical report from 2023. In a direct quote from her statement, she said, "I am a woman. I always have been. This attack on my identity is cruel, baseless, and meant to humiliate me. I will not be silent." Behind the scenes, sources close to Khelif say she's consulting with both human rights lawyers and sports law experts, looking into whether world boxing and other governing bodies violated privacy laws or acted prematurely without a formal ruling. But while she may be fighting back in the courtroom and the media, the damage may already be irreversible. Sponsors have reportedly begun pulling away. Future competitions are now in question. And among fellow athletes, the whispers have turned into headlines, making it difficult, if not impossible, for her to move forward without facing judgment at every step. For Khelif, this isn't just about restoring her athletic eligibility, it's a battle for her dignity, her identity, and her future. And no matter how the legal battle plays out, the scars from this moment may last far longer than any title ever could. This story has now triggered a much bigger conversation. What defines gender in sports? Is it chromosomes, hormones, legal documents, lived experience? Some argue that allowing athletes with male chromosomes to compete in women's sports is unfair. Others say excluding them is discriminatory and violates human rights. And the truth is, there's no easy answer. Even the International Olympic Committee, who allowed Khelif to compete in Paris based on her passport, may now be forced to reconsider its policies. Because what's happening to Imane Khelif today could happen to dozens of athletes tomorrow. Imane Khelif went from Olympic gold to public scandal in a matter of months. Now, her legacy, her future in boxing, and even her identity are under global scrutiny. This isn't just about winning medals anymore. It's about who gets to fight, who gets to be seen, and who gets to be believed. And as the legal battle unfolds, the world is watching. Please note, the information shared here is based on the latest available reports and may change as the legal proceedings continue. We'll keep updating as the story develops.